Welcome to episode 5 of The Brick Show. Do you like Star Wars? I love Star Wars. I'm wearing my shirt today, and today's set is a Star Wars set. We've got set 8092, Luke's Landspeeder. And this set is actually a remake of a remake. There was 2 previous Landspeed versions. In 1999, the very first version, the first year of Lego Star Wars, set 7110 was 49 pieces. That was the original Landspeeder. Included 2 minifigs. You had Luke and the old Obi-Wan. This one is 163 pieces, so more detail. And we get 6 minifigures, so that helps. That's why, another reason why there's more pieces. The minifigs we get here, Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, both with a lightsaber. Sand Trooper, very cool. C-3PO, which is hard to get. You know, he's in a lot of expensive sets, so that's a big deal. Sentry Droid, which I would kind of call a half of a minifig. You know, I wouldn't call that a minifig, maybe, so 5.5. And then we get R2-D2. And ages 7 to 12, not that that really matters, but this was released in 2010. Some people saw it in stores 2009, late. You can only get this set in Walmart. This was a Walmart special. And so it's become very popular for that reason, and the fact that you get 6 minifigs. Set was also, this is also a remake of a Landspeeder that was in set 4501 called the Mos Eisley Cantina, and that came out in 2004, and it had the Landspeeder, but then it also had some other things. It had the Cantina and Greedo and those guys. So this is the 3rd version, and this looks a lot more like the 2nd version. If you go back and look at the 1st version, you'll see that it's changed quite a bit. But this one is definitely more detailed, and just definitely been improved upon compared to the previous versions, especially that first one. So let's go ahead and build this, and then we'll meet back up. Alright, so that's done. That was quick. It's 38 steps. Here's the book. Not too thick. Here's our set, our 6 cool minifigs, and our Landspeeder, which we will look at here shortly. Got C-3PO sitting on the back there, and then our other 2 little Sentry Droids sitting next to it. So let's now zoom in so that we can get a closer look at this guy. So count them 6 minifigures. We'll start right from the right to the left. Luke in his Tatooine Mos Eisley outfit with a lightsaber. Nice shiny lightsaber. Hair's a little long. Almost too long. Kind of makes him look like a girl, but it was long in the movie. And then here's old Obi-Wan. And it's interesting that he decided to not use fabric and give him a cape. But he also comes with a nice shiny blue lightsaber. And then we have C-3PO, which, as we mentioned, is hard to get in a lot of sets. He's not in a ton of sets, and the ones that he is in, they're pricier sets. So one of the draws of this set. And of course R2-D2. Then the Sand Trooper. And what makes a Sand Trooper is this little piece of fabric right here. And it's interesting, he's carrying what appears to be 2 lightsabers in the back. I don't believe that they're lightsabers. They're supposed to just look at like something else because they're not shiny. And there would be no reason for a stormtrooper to be carrying a lightsaber. What is weird is there is his black face. That's no smile, just a blank black head. And this little backpack attaches to the back of him. If you can get it to stay. He's just falling apart. And then lastly we have this
sentry droid, which has these clear plastic pieces so that it looks like it's just floating in the air, and this was used with the Stormtrooper. So it kind of goes behind him. So those are your 6 minifigures. One thing that's interesting to note, both Luke and Obi-Wan have lightsabers. They did not have lightsabers in the first set from 1999. Neither one had lightsabers, but they do have lightsabers here. And they both have them, which in this scene in the movie, neither one was using it at this time, but that doesn't really matter. Only one of them would have actually had it, but just a small detail. And here's a close look at the Landspeeder. I do like these little lines that they use here. Kind of a neat piece. And this one, that is not a mistake. That one on the right side is supposed to be like that. I originally thought that it was supposed to be the middle one, but that goes on the right, and then these two match on the left and the top. And Luke is driving. Yes, he did get his license. If you actually go back and look at the extra scenes, the bonus features in episode 4, you'll see where Luke actually takes his driver's test for his Landspeeder and gets his license. No, that's not true. I actually just made that up right now. But Luke is driving, and there is a secret compartment here. But sometimes you got to do it that way, or it will fall off if you grab this piece. This will kind of come apart. So in here is where you could put your lightsabers, or where you're supposed to. But as you can see, they don't fit. Now they will fit if you take them apart and do it like that. So that's up to you. What I actually do is I use this little area right here. I'll put this back on so you can see. There's a little space right behind them in their chairs, and it fits right in there. And that's where I've been putting them. And they'll both fit back there. So there's your Landspeeder. Let's give you the full look all the way around. It's pretty much the same on both sides. He's alright. So let's meet up now and rate this.
Okay, so let's get to our ratings. Let's rate the Luke's Landspeeder. Young kids, we're going to give it a 7. Give it a 7 for young kids. I'm going to explain it all after. You'll see a pattern here. Older kids, going to give it a 7. Adults, a 7. So we have 7s across the board. 3 7s, and here is why. This set is very minifigure dependent. It lives and dies by the minifigure, because we have 6 minifigures. When you take the minifigures away, what do you have left? You have a Landspeeder that's, Landspeeders in general are kind of boring, at least this model. The Freako Speeder I think is cool. But the Landspeeder is kind of boring in the very nature of what it is, even in the movie. And of course this is from episode 4, and so when you take the minifigures away from this set, there's just not a whole lot there that I'm crazy about. And so that's why I gave it 7s across the board. I think for old adults it could be cool to have because you grew up in episode 1 or episode 4, 5, and 6, and the Landspeeder was kind of the first cool thing you saw in the first one. And so there's that value there, that sentimental value that we talk about sometimes. But it's very minifigure heavy. So I think the younger kids will like it for that reason. The older kids would like it for that reason, but again, it's not enough beyond that, beyond these minifigures. And with the price point, when I read a lot of the reviews, a lot of people were saying, minifigures are great, but I want the price to be a little bit lower for what I get, because it's only 163 pieces. And so that was the main negative that I continued to see was when this set was released, the price point that it was at for what you get. So, over time, I think this will be a collector's item because it is the best Landspeeder that you can get, and it does come with all these cool guys. So, take that for what it's worth. So that concludes our show, but before we go, I want to just talk about one thing, and that is, of course, our Star Wars Lego guide, galaxybricks.com. Make sure you go there. And right now, when the show's over, you need to go to brickshow.com, and you go there, and on the right side of the screen, there's an orange box. And in that orange box, you want to put your email address and hit the submit button, and that will make sure that when we release every episode, that you are the first one to know about it, so you're one of the first people to see the new episodes. So make sure you go to thebrickshow.com and orange box, fill it in, and you will be all set. All right, we'll see you next time, episode 6.